welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Happy 21st of June to you all. So we are going up here between today and tomorrow's, and then we'll only have single little ones to do. But let's get this guy some eyes. So let's zoom you in. Did pretty well on placement there. I will scoot it over just a little bit because that'll enable me to pop my questions up here so that I can see. No, I can still get to that one. Okay, let's start with black. Looks like we will be finishing another tub of black today, so we'll have to see about getting some of these ones that are stuck together, get them apart. But I'm going to clear out the tray with all the ones that I can first, and then I can just deal with the ones that are clumped together. But that's okay, because that's like a little mini accomplishment, getting all the normal ones and then dealing with the few that are just stuck together ever so slightly. But I hope everybody is still having a great month so far, getting everything done that you want to get done, or enjoying not doing it, whatever it may be. If that's what floats your boat, I'm all for it. As long as you're having a good time, which is the main thing. So we seem to be on a group of sort of family orientated questions. But it does say if you are close with your family, what's the hardest part about spending time with them? Time away from them, sorry. And it can be hard just missing. So thinking about my family in Australia, we're really good at, I suppose, being able to, just sort of be as though we've not been away from each other when we are together. But the hardest part I find from being away from them is missing out on the smaller things, the day-to-day things that aren't what you catch up on when you haven't seen them for ages. Just the little quirks in my niece and nephews that have changed, sort of things like that are probably the hardest to miss. But yeah, it's one of those. It is what it is, and recognizing that it is what it is helps me to not think about those sorts of things too much. Do you wish you had a bigger family, or are you happy with its current size? Originally, hang on, let me just shake my diamonds. See how many we have that have come apart. A decent amount. Originally I would have liked 5 children. Don't ask me why that number was in my head, but it was. However, once we got to 4, I was happy with 4. So the answer to that one is probably no. I couldn't have imagined trying to fit 7 people into this house, though. I think we definitely would have had to do something. I think 6 is its max. for long periods of time anyway. We've definitely fit more people in when family have been visiting, for sure. What's your favourite story about your grandparents? Ooh. I used to love hearing how my nan worked in during World War II. That was always interesting, and about her brother, who actually I never met her brother. He died when he was young. But yeah, stories about him. I knew 3 of my blood relation grandparents. I did have, in effect, a step granddad that was I just called granddad, because one of my grandparents passed away before I was born. Well, passed away when my dad was a child, so I never knew them. But yeah, I was lucky enough to know all of my grandparents, or the 3 of my grandparents, and then my, in effect, step granddad that was my granddad. I did know all of them, get to spend time with all of them, which was good. But yeah, it is nice. It was nice hearing some of the stories from when they were younger, or just spending time with them in general was always good. Have you ever mapped out your family tree? No, I've not. That's not something that I've ever done. I think I may have done like a school project on it at one point, but apart from that, I've never done anything in adult life. My sister-in-law likes to do that, so I think she has the family tree of hubby's side of the family. So I'm going to give them one more go. I get loads of black, so if they haven't come apart now, then they're going. This is your last chance, diamonds, to shine forever, or you are gone. So yeah, my sister-in-law has mapped a lot of their family tree, but it's never something that I've mapped. Okay, diamonds, black. I don't think I have. Oh, I do have a small pot of black. I do have a small pot as well as a big pot. I forgot I did. So let's go for the smaller pot, because then I'm more likely to only have one pot when it comes to dekitting if I use the smaller pot first. So we'll use this one up over the next few days, and then we'll go to the last big pot. If we get to it, they could end up being all spares, but we'll try and get to the last big pot, because then I'm only dealing with one pot of each when dekitting, hopefully. Do you want a family of your own? Yes. What was it like growing up as the youngest / oldest / middle / only child? Delete as appropriate. I was the oldest. Out from me, I have one brother, one sister, and I was the oldest. My brother is the middle child, and my sister is the youngest. I think my sister had it the easiest, which of course often the youngest child does, but she also had it that if I was arguing with my sister, my brother would stick up for her, and if my brother was arguing with my sister, I would stick up for her. So I think she did have the easier life in that way. But no, it was great. I don't feel like it was any necessarily parental treatment that was different. I may have pushed a few boundaries back for the benefit of my brother and sister, but as a whole, I don't feel like it made a huge difference to me being the oldest. Do you ever wish you were raised differently? No, I don't think so. Yes, I'm sure as a child there were many things that I would be like, no, they were too strict on this, or no, I didn't like this form of punishment or that form of punishment. But in general, while I am, not necessarily the most saintly of people, I do believe I've been brought up with the general niceness, bringing up where I have manners, and I know, how to treat other people, or at least that's what I think, I hope. So no, I don't think I'd necessarily want to be brought up any different. I think Luna is barking at something. I think there must be a bird in the garden, but that's Catherine's problem. Do you wish you had more siblings? And if so, why? No, I don't ever feel as though I needed or wanted more siblings. We used to, of course, all, play games or whatever together when we were younger. There's about 1.5 years between each of us. But I also was very happy to play on my own as much as, play whatever games were being played. So my siblings may answer different if they much prefer playing in groups when we were younger. But I was more than happy to play on my own as much as play together. So I didn't feel as though I wanted more siblings growing up. At least I don't think I did. Maybe my mum will be coming on going, oh yes, you used to ask for one all the time. Not that I'm aware of. What's your favourite way to spend time with your family? To be honest, my favourite way to spend time with family, a lot of the time is just being there. Not necessarily going out doing, whether that be when I'm in Australia or at home. I personally find I get more from just the general conversations, just being around each other and enjoying the smaller things in life. To me, it's not about, okay, what exciting thing can we go do with the kids? It's those little tidbits that come up when you just are around each other. Which is why when I do go to Australia, it's not about what can I fit in to do while I'm here. I get more out of, the evenings spent together and all that sort of stuff. I love all of that. I did have to do that single blue one at the top of this cow because it was driving me batty from when I first peeled back the cover paper. I very nearly filled it in before I did the black. But yeah, it was there like a neon light to me. It was like, I need to fill you in because you are staring at me. So I'm glad I've got that done. And then I can plough on with the rest, which is all the same sort of colours, or at least it's all the shading of his face. And now I'll just work from whatever the bottom colour was. But sometimes if I do know there is one colour stuck out of the way, I prefer to get it done. It's like crossing something off your to-do list. By crossing that symbol off, I get a quick win by getting that one done. Just a little side note of my thought process. Some very weird random questions. How do you deal with arguments between family members? So I suppose the easiest one there, we never particularly, I wouldn't say we particularly have arguments between the adult family members. We're not part of any of that. I don't even think my side of the family particularly have arguments between each other. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm in a different country for most of it. Not that I'm aware of. There's definitely no big falling out. In relation to potential arguments between our kids. Sorry, I've just realised my battery's flashing because I hadn't turned on the wall charger. So hopefully that will be enough for it to cope. But yeah, arguments between the kids, more often than not, frankly, I just stay out of it. They are old enough now. Used to try and have discussions with them when they were younger, of course, and sort of figured it out that way, or pulled the mum card and decided who was going to win that argument. But now, no, I just leave them to it. They sort it out between themselves. More often than not, any potential arguments that the kids have, they're not big ones. They're little ones. One or both of them are tired or hungry normally, and once that's been dealt with either food or a nap, they're back to normal. And back to getting on. So luckily that's something I don't have to particularly deal with as such. Sometimes I will tell them to shut up and take it out of the room because I don't want to hear it. But it's very few and far between, really. They're all really good at knowing, when they're tetchy, when they've had enough of people. And they will take themselves off and give themselves a time out, which works for them and it works for the other people in the house. So they're all really good at things like that. When they've had enough, they just take themselves off, and that works really well. So that's why I think I have in general a good bunch, because we don't have to deal with big family dramas and things all the time. What's more important, family or friends? Now, I think this can completely vary according to people, and probably their relationship with their family. I don't think that my answer should be the answer for everybody. But for me personally, it's family. But that is because of the type of family that I have. And to be honest, even friendships that I have don't think would come between either. But it would be harder for me to lose family over friends. Not that I think it would come to that, but for some people, I can completely understand that, you can't pick your family, but you can pick your friends. And in some instances, that is exactly what people need. And to say that's just awareness of, I suppose, what some people aren't as blessed as I am in relation to family. What physical traits do you share with your relatives? I think I have the same hair colour as my mum. I'm kind of hoping that I stick with the same, or at least have the same base older person hair colour, should we say. Older person hair colour, as my nan would be good. She did go white, I think. Well, yeah, white, when her hair went white when she was older. So I'm kind of hoping I have that's the same. That would be good. But yeah, I think people would probably say I look a bit more like my mum than my dad. Oh. Whereas my sister looks more like my dad. What can always bring your family together? So that one is probably more of a general one. So what can always bring your family together is when they're needed. You know, if it's needed, then we'll be there. What that need is will be different to each person, but if a shout goes out, then family will be there. Yeah, just it's what you do. It's what you do, or you do, or we do. Do you share a name with anyone in your family? I personally don't. However, I did, or we did, when we named our children. All of our children have a middle name after or in recognition of a family member. So Megan's middle name is my mum's name. Megan was her first grandchild. My mother-in-law did state that she did not want her name being used. She didn't like her name. She did not want her name being used at all. Caris's middle name was both my great-grandma's name and I think it was Will's great-grandma's name. I think it was both. So Caris has both. Lewis's first name was my grandfather's name, who I never knew. His name was Lewis. So I suppose Lewis could be classed as being named after a family member. I remember my grandma saying, "How are you spelling it?" And I'm like, well, I'm spelling it the same way as Grandad's, of course. I'm not going to spell it different. His middle name is after my brother. No, it's not. My nephew has a middle name after my brother. Lewis's middle name is after his dad and his granddad. So his dad and his granddad both have the same name. That's, of course, hubby's side of the family. So that is Lewis's middle name. And then Catherine has a middle name after my sister. So we always had middle names with meaning. Middle names, I like middle names for, you know, things like remembering or honouring family members and things like that. Because while it is part of their name and it is part of them, it is not, you know, what they're constantly known by. Like even Lewis doesn't really probably even remember that his great granddad had the same name, because of course he's never met him either. So I don't feel like there is that, I don't know, that pressure on him at all. It was a very popular name as well when he was younger. So it's probably actually the most popular name that any of the kids had. So it was quite a popular name and a name that we liked as well anyway. So, yeah. What's weird though, if Megan was a boy, she wouldn't have been called Lewis. it changed. Our name choice changed by the time we had Lewis. So yeah. Yeah, it's not something that's like constantly brought up or anything like that. He did meet my grandma a couple of times, but not loads before she passed. What activities do you like to do with your family today? We do like playing games every now and then, having sort of a games night. Definitely with hubby's side of the family as well, we like to have like an extended family games night. Sometimes we just get together purely for that. It's like an excuse to get together, and that's always fun. So yeah, things like that. And then the cousins get together quite a lot as well. They go do all sorts of different things. They arrange cousin nights so that they can be together and go do things. So that's always good too. If you're married, are you close with your in-laws? I was. Unfortunately, both of my in-laws have now passed. But yes, I very much got on with my in-laws. With both of them. Very much so with his mum. And yeah, I was very blessed. They weren't... They didn't have that typical in-law persona, for sure. Very, very blessed with my in-laws. They were both amazing people. So yeah, I was very lucky I did get on with both of my in-laws. And Will doesn't have to worry because his in-laws are in a different country. But yeah, he does get on with my parents too. Would you rather go back in time to meet your ancestors or travel into the future to meet your descendants? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Okay, what symbol do I need first? Let's get some diamonds in this pot. I need quite a few of it. We've got a hijacker. Ooh, it's a diamond dust hijacker. It's a purple one. I'm not trying to figure out which one that goes in. I think I would rather go back. I think I'd rather go back in time, meet my ancestors, maybe learn. I feel like I could learn more about the likes of my grandparents and my parents, people I know, more things about how they grew up and things, the smaller things, you know, the little different things. I feel like I would get more from speaking to them and seeing how they lived, and then in turn how, you know, my nan and my grandma and my granddad all grew up, that sort of side of things, more so than I would going to meet my descendants, which would be interesting, but I think because the world would be so different potentially, so much more unknown, I feel that it would be harder meeting someone I, you know, have no idea of who they are. Whereas there's a certain element of knowing who your ancestors are. And yeah, I think I'd rather meet ancestors than descendants. I'd rather meet descendants in real time, I think. Yes. Oh, what do you think makes someone a good person? I think a lot of that is not self-centered, not, you know, purely self-centered, thinks of others, has manners, which in turn is, just, I think that can just make somebody generally a good person. I think people can make mistakes, definitely. People can do bad things in relation to a scale of just good and bad. I think there are different levels of it, but I think, you know, people can make mistakes and people can do things you know, but if they know they've done something wrong and they can apologise and they can move on, and yeah, they're generally polite and kind, I think that's what makes a good person. And I think there are many, many good people in this world. Definitely. I think there are absolutely loads across all walks of life. I think sometimes, you know, even in those that you don't think are good people, there can be good people. But yeah, I think that's the main thing. I think people that infuriate me the most are the rude ones, the demanding ones, the entitled ones. They're the ones that drive me the batty the most, personally. Just like, oh, you are not the only person in the world. I think that's a big thing that many people need to know. Maybe if they worked in retail or something, it'd help them learn that. I think everybody should work in either retail or hospitality for at least a period of time. But yeah, people that are rude to servers, things like that, that infuriates me. You know, there is no need to be like that. So yeah, if you're not like that, you're a good person. Do you believe that time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time? Yes, I think there is. I think there is a time and a place for it, personally. But I do think everybody should have, in effect, time to waste. And I think that's one thing that at the moment is, I don't know whether it's just a thing that's not a good thing. But I do think if a lot of us, it's very much something I've had to do, is say to myself, no, you like, this is your downtime. It's not wasted time. It's your downtime. And, you know, as long as you're enjoying what it is that you're doing, your body obviously needs it. So, no, I don't think that time you enjoy wasting is wasted time. I don't think it's wasted time at all. I say there is a time and a place, but I think our bodies need it, and I think a lot of the time we are told it is wasted time, and in fact it's not. It's just a different way to spend our time, and it's very much needed in a lot of instances. Ooh, he's looking good. Our handsome little chappy. Okay, let's get my little tally of 5. Is it actually 5? No, it's a tally of 4, I think. It is a tally of 4. Looks like a little tally, but it doesn't count to 5, so it's not right in my opinion. It should count to 5. Or maybe I should just call it something else. But who's going to tally up to 4? I like the number 4, but I don't count in 4s. Do you believe what is meant for you will never miss you? No, not particularly. I do think in both instances, like, I do think there are people that deserve something good that it doesn't happen, whether it be due to steps they've chosen to take or opportunities they don't have. And in turn, I do think that there are some bad people in this world who need a little bit of karma and don't get it. So, no, I don't believe that what's meant for you will ever miss you. I think there can be many missed opportunities. I think provided you learn from them, then, you know, they have had some purpose. But no, I definitely think there are good people in this world who don't get what they deserve, and in turn there are bad people in this world who don't get what they deserve. So I don't think those things will necessarily find them eventually. If you only had one sense, so hearing, touch or sight, which one would you want? I'm guessing taste is in that one as well. To me, it wouldn't be taste. As I've said before, I eat because I have to. So I could probably cope with not having that one. Don't get me wrong, crisps wouldn't taste the same, but I could get away with not having that one. I think touch, would be the one I would prefer to keep. I think I would potentially be safer with that one too. Wouldn't go doing myself multiple injuries because I couldn't feel the ground I'm walking on, for example. I think it would be hard and life would be different. But yeah, I think touch is the one that I would want to keep. I would definitely want to keep that one. Okay, diamond dust for the last. Let's give this guy his eye. What makes you feel the most accomplished? Having a productive day, for sure, is always something that makes me feel accomplished. Whatever goals I've got set out, getting them completed, and potentially a little bit extra too. So a little bit more than what I've set out to do. Combated a little bit of tomorrow's to-do list. Always makes me feel accomplished, whether that be multiple small things, whether that be business or home-wise. I love a good pottering day and getting a few, more annoying things off my to-do list. Always makes me feel good when I've had a productive day. Okay, there we go. Our Highland cow has his eyes. Bless him. He looks good. He looks good. So tomorrow we will be doing his other horn. And then we'll just have individual sections left to go. But I'm loving how this one is coming together. So thank you all so much for joining me for today, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.